everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English, and I'm Karen.
Hello everybody, this is Shane, and we are looking at part 2 of Experience the Charm of Tainan.
Yay! So in part 1, we talked about some fun places that we can visit, right?
Yeah, well what else? If I go to Tainan, what should I not miss?
Well, I have to say, the food in Tainan is great. It's fantastic, and it's very unique too.
Yeah, I think, Tainan is pretty famous for having a lot of unique dishes that you can only experience when you are there.
For example, the beef soup. Have you ever tried this kind of beef soup where they put the raw beef slices in the really, really hot beef broth? And then you can see the colors of the beef changing right in front of your eyes. And when you taste the beef, it tastes very tender. The broth is fantastic.
Well, I'll let you guess since I'm a vegetarian. Do you think
yeah.
I have tried it? Of course not, but you know what I have had that to me has the best name?
What is it?
Coffin bread.
Okay, I've heard of coffin bread before. Now, please enlighten us. What is coffin bread?
Well, basically, it's like bread, and then they scoop out the bread in the middle, and then they fill it with delicious filling.
That's right.
And it's really yummy, and it's especially it's so unique, and it's called coffin bread. That's so much fun.
Very easy to remember. Also, the shrimp rolls too. If you're in Tainan, don't forget to try the shrimp rolls. They're delicious.
So there's plenty to eat there, but why don't we get into what else there is to experience in Tainan?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Once you've gotten to know a little about Tainan's culture, dive into Tainan's rich history by visiting the historic region of Anping. First, head to the Anping Old Fort, a structure that was built when the Dutch controlled part of Taiwan. Take a picture in front of its red brick walls or go up to the top of the White Watchtower and enjoy great views of Tainan from above. After visiting the fort, make your way to the magical Anping Treehouse. It was built as a warehouse in 1867, and over time, nature started to reclaim it. As a result, the roots and branches of banyan trees and the building's brick walls have become one, almost like Mother Nature wove them together.
Okay, part 2. Experience the charm of Tainan.
That's right. Okay, well, let's dive into it.
Please tell us.
Once you've gotten to know a little about Tainan's culture, dive into Tainan's rich history by visiting the historic region of Anping. Oh, that's right. I remember visiting Anping.
That sounds very peaceful, right? Because like Ping An, Anping.
That's true. The characters, right?
Right.
Now, historic, that's an adjective. Basically just means that it's important in history, likely to be thought of as important as some time in the future, and people really value it. So, for example, they visited an old historic castle during their vacation. So it has a lot of history.
Castles are fun. Okay, let's start. First, head to the Anping Old Fort, a structure that was built when the Dutch controlled part of Taiwan. All right, so in the past, the Dutch actually controlled part of Taiwan.
For a period of time.
You're right. Take a picture in front of its red brick walls or go up to the top of the White Watchtower and enjoy great views of Tainan from above.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
I think that's a really popular tourist attraction. A lot of people, they go to Tainan, they would definitely visit.
Yeah, I love going up to places where you'd see a whole view of the city. I just really love views.
That's true.
And it sounds great for taking pictures up against all those red bricks. So a brick is basically baked clay that is used for building walls, or could be houses or other buildings. And referring to a brick, it's just one individual block of this kind of red clay. We call that a brick. So for example, they built the house with red bricks.
And then usually they're very strong and sturdy, right?
Pretty strong and sturdy, yeah.
Okay, well, let's continue. After visiting the fort, make your way to the magical Anping tree house. I didn't know there was an Anping tree house.
I love tree houses.
Yeah, me too. It was built as a warehouse in 1867. And over time, nature started to reclaim it.
Interesting. So to reclaim something means to take it back as your own.
That's right.
Right? Okay, so as a result, the roots and branches of banyan trees and the building's brick walls have become one.
Wow.
Almost like Mother Nature wove them together.
And wove is the past tense for weave.
Right.
And to weave, and that is a verb, it means to make something by twisting flowers or pieces of wood, etc. together. So for example, she learned how to weave baskets from her grandmother.
Yeah, I was speaking of tree houses. Did you have a tree house when you were a kid?
No, but I've always wanted one because it's actually quite common to see tree houses or build tree houses in North America, right?
Yeah, I lived in an apartment building and we kind of made a tree house on top of a parking garage, which had a tree next to it. So we would climb up onto the parking garage and then the tree would be our shade. So we called it a tree house, but we didn't have to build it.
Okay.
We just went up on top of a roof and got the shade of the tree and called that our tree house.
But it's always fun to go to these tree houses, right?
Kids love tree houses because it's kind of like your own little place to go.
Exactly, like a good hiding spot, right? So if you ever get a chance to visit Tainan, I think it'll be a wonderful idea to go to the Anping tree house as well.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Okay, well, why don't we first take a break and we will continue in a moment.
All right.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们第一天跟着课文逛了孔庙文化园区、台南市美术馆，还有林百货。那么接着要来参观安平历史区了，要来开始深入了解台南丰富的历史。那么首先是安平古堡，它是荷兰人控制台湾部分地区时所建造的建筑。你可以在这个红砖墙前面来拍照，或者是登上白色瞭望塔顶楼，从高处来欣赏台南的美景。那么参观完古堡之后呢，我们要前往安平树屋。它建于1867年，那原本是仓库，随着时间的推移，大自然就开始重新占领了这个地方。你就可以看到这个榕树的根啊，还有枝条，以及这个建筑物的砖墙已经完全合而为一，就好像是大自然把它们编织在一起了。好，单字 historic 它是形容词，形容具有历史意义的，或者是历史上著名的。那么 brick 表示砖块或者是积木，文中的 red brick 就是形容红砖的。老师们聊到说，红砖建筑通常都还蛮坚固的，那有用到这个形容词是 sturdy， S-T-U-R-D-Y， sturdy 它是形容坚固耐用的或是强壮的。好，下一个单字 weave， 它表示编织，将什么什么编成。那它的动词三态有两组，你可以说 weave weaved weaved， 也可以说 weave wove woven。好，那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 dive into something， 表示开始做某事，尤其是指兴致勃勃的开始做某事，全心投入某事。例如 She's not ready to dive into another relationship， 她还没有准备好投入另一段感情中。那第二重点是 make one's way to 加名词，可以表达前往、前进。那么 make one's way 后面常常会接 to、through、towards 等等的介系词，然后再加名词去表达前往哪里、走向哪里。例如 Ken got his tray of food and made his way to an empty table。Ken 拿了一盘食物，并走向一张空桌。好，接回课文中。
Last, visit the Eternal Golden Fortress, an impressive fort that was built in the 19th century to protect Taiwan's coast. The fortress grounds feature cannons and a moat. And during holidays and weekends, staff, who are dressed as soldiers, perform military drills. Tainan has an unmatched blend of history and culture. So, who wouldn't want to lose themselves in this amazing city?
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were learning about Tainan and how it has a lot of history, right?
Yes.
So, if you want to go to Tainan, you can visit the Anping Old Fort, and there's also the magical Anping treehouse that you definitely have to visit while you're there.
Okay, so continuing. Last, visit the Eternal Golden Fortress. Wow, sounds magical. An impressive fort that was built in the 19th century to protect Taiwan's coast. So impressive. Impressive is an adjective if we're talking about things or people, which means making you admire them because they are very large or very good, very skillful, etc. So for example, you can say the chess master made an impressive move and won the game.
Everybody was impressed, right? Everyone went, oh, wow. That's
Amazing.
right. Exactly. Okay, let's continue. The fortress grounds features cannons and a moat. Cannons and a moat.
When you say the grounds, like the ground? What are the grounds?
The grounds like the
area? Where
this
it
area
is, right?
feature cannons and a moat. Now we know cannons, right? But how about a moat?
Oh, so a moat is basically, if you imagine a castle, so go into like you're watching Harry Potter or something, and you see a castle, and around it there is they dig out the mud and the dirt around it and fill it with water, which makes it difficult if someone's going to attack for them to get to the castle. Right. So here we're talking about a fort, but it's the same idea. It's surrounded by water so that it makes it difficult to attack.
Exactly. And during holidays and weekends, staff who are dressed as soldiers perform military drills. Oh, okay. So a lot of people, a lot of visitors and tourists would definitely go and see that, right?
Sounds like fun, actually.
Definitely. So staff is a noun. It just means all the workers employed in an organization considered as a group.
Right. So you can't say a staff if you're talking about one person on a staff. So the idea of a staff is that it's all of the people working together. If you have one member of the staff, you will say a staff member.
Exactly.
Right?
So for example, the hotel had a friendly and helpful staff that made the guests feel welcome. So what you're referring to is that all the workers there made the guests feel welcome.
Right. You wouldn't say he is a nice staff.
That's right.
They have a good staff.
Exactly. This group of people who work here.
Okay, so continuing, Tainan has an unmatched blend of history and culture. So who wouldn't want to lose themselves in this amazing city? So you say something has a great blend of something. It's just like two things, and you get them together. The way that they come together is usually very good, right? So here they have an unmatched blend of history and culture.
Like a good mix of it, right?
Right, that'd be another way of saying it. Yeah, so who would not want to lose themselves in this amazing city? They mean they're going to get lost?
No. Well, who wouldn't want to lose themselves by enjoying themselves in this amazing city?
The idea is you kind of like forget about your worries and problems and all of your concerns, and you just
Enjoy
what's in front of you.
Exactly. Okay, well, we do have a what do you think question. So have you ever visited a city or place that is known for its history and culture? What was your experience like? Have you ever visited like a city like Tainan, that is rich in history and also culture?
Absolutely. Well, I'm pretty sure you've heard of a pretty famous city called Paris.
Oh, of course.
Right? And yeah, I've been there and I got to experience some of the rich history and culture.
The museum and then Eiffel Tower.
Yes, but my experience of all of that stuff was overshadowed by my experience of being robbed when I was sitting in a park near the Eiffel Tower and I didn't watch my stuff that was near me. I was just kind of resting and somebody stole my stuff.
Oh no, and did you get it back?
No.
Oh no.
So,
okay,
that was my experience. So if I talk about Paris, I don't talk about all the interesting history, all the interesting culture. I talk about the thieves.
Okay, well, don't ruin it for everybody. I'm sure everyone's experience would be different, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
But I have also been to a city that is rich in history and culture.
Where?
Have you ever heard of Kyoto in Japan?
Not only have I heard about it, but I've also been there.
Have you?
Yes.
And then I remember visiting there, and then it was just so different from other parts of Japan.
Yeah.
Because I visited Tokyo and Osaka as well. But Kyoto was like a completely different place.
You feel like you go back in time when you're there.
And then some girls wearing kimonos, and then you see ancient temples. I remember the Golden Pavilion was beautiful.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Okay, well, that's all the time we have for Tainan. Hopefully, you've been as impressed as we are about this wonderful place.
That's right.
Okay, we will see you next time and take care.
See you next time.
最后呢，我们来到义载京城，这一座令人印象深刻的堡垒建于19世纪，目的呢是要保护台湾的沿海。而堡垒的场地设有大炮，还有护城河。在假日和周末期间呢，装扮成士兵的工作人员就会进行军事演习。来看单字 impressive， 它就是形容令人印象深刻的、了不起的、令人赞叹的。那么 staff 它表示全体员工、职员，注意它是集合名词哦。再来补充单字 cannon 表示大炮，旧时的那种大炮、火炮。那么 moat 则是表达城堡等等他们的护城河，还有 drill 则是指演练、操练。课文最后写到说，台南拥有无与伦比的历史和文化的交融。那么谁不想沉醉在这座迷人的城市当中呢？老师们也有聊到，像巴黎啊、京都也都是具有丰富历史文化的城市。只是 Shane 老师他在巴黎有被抢，他的巴黎之旅蒙上了一层阴影。好，我们可以用 overshadow， 在 shadow 前面加上 over， 构成这个动词，表示使什么蒙上阴影，或是使什么黯然失色。Karen 老师则聊到京都，他有提到这个金阁寺，还有提到和服。老师说的 kimono K-I-M-O-N-O 就是指日本和服。好，那这边就有一个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习 lose oneself in something， 这表示聚精会神、全神贯注在某事物，常常用来形容沉浸在什么什么，像是某种气氛、情绪等等当中，因为某事而忘我。例如 Have you ever lost yourself in a book？ 你曾经沉浸在书中而忘我吗？好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Once you've gotten to know a little about Tainan's culture, dive into Tainan's rich history by visiting the historic region of Anping. First, head to the Anping Old Fort, a structure that was built when the Dutch controlled part of Taiwan. Take a picture in front of its red brick walls or go up to the top of the White Watchtower and enjoy great views of Tainan from above. After visiting the fort, make your way to the magical Anping Treehouse. It was built as a warehouse in 1867, and over time, nature started to reclaim it. As a result, the roots and branches of banyan trees and the building's brick walls have become one, almost like Mother Nature wove them together. Last, visit the Eternal Golden Fortress, an impressive fort that was built in the 19th century to protect Taiwan's coast. The fortress grounds feature cannons and a moat, and during holidays and weekends, staff who are dressed as soldiers perform military drills. Tainan has an unmatched blend of history and culture. So, who wouldn't want to lose themselves in this amazing city?
everyone, today we'll be taking you to the Jinglao Old Street, and that is also located in Tainan. Now, there are many things that you can see on this old street, including some old stores, old shops, like the watch shop, the suit shop, etc. There's also some fun events that the stores will hold on the street. So let's learn more.
Jinglao was an important courier station on the road to Zulu County during the Qing dynasty. Because Jinglao was located on the main road at that time, many bustling businesses developed there. There are old shops such as a bicycle shop, a suit shop, a watch shop, and a cake shop. Fengchong store is an old renowned store too. This rice store belongs to the main character of the documentary Let It Be. He won the National Rice Championship in 2006. We can learn from the old farmer's positive attitude for the harvest and respect toward the gods. Jinglao Old Street is also known as a dowry street. Some stores will hold an event about riding a bullock cart with dowry. The event can let people experience the ancient wedding ceremony. In recent years, Jinglao Old Street has become popular because of a Taiwanese drama, The Making of an Ordinary Woman. Many fans have come here to get a glimpse of where they shot the drama and experience the ancient culture and customs of the place where the heroine grew up.
I hope you guys really enjoyed learning about the Jinglao Old Street and the things you can do there. One thing I found that's really interesting is that some stores will hold an event riding a bullock cart with dowry. That would certainly be an interesting experience, right? So next time you're there, don't miss out on the fun. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.